Okay, I have chosen to evaluate the website Britain for Americans. Um, as I pull up the website, I see it has a picture of the two flags. It has a title. It says it has an introduction page. It goes through some basic language, geography, transport, music, food, and drink. It says this is Britain. We live here. We are called British people. It says this is a guide to Britain written for Americans who may be planning a visit here. And it talks about the strange things that British people might do. And it talks about peculiar things. As I'm looking at it, I think, peculiar, that's an opinion. So it may not be fact-based. I click up here and it says JFH Web Design. Click here for more of the same. So I'm going to click on that. And it's a page that doesn't exist anymore. So it doesn't have a link out. I'm looking at the top and it says brookview.carew.net is the main link. So it's, I don't know what that is. If I click back and erase some of that and go to brookview.carew.net, I still get the same broken link. So I don't know if that will get me anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere. I'm going to click on the introduction page, which is what I'm on now. So I'm going to go on to language. And it has some information here. It says the British people have a different type of language, English language. Learn how to communicate with British people. And it says men are posh baddies who often drink too much. I noticed that there's a spelling error there, so that makes me wonder about the legitimacy of this site. And then it gives a list of different words that are spelled, and apparently the British spelling are different, but their reasons are not true. We like putting U's in our words, so we added letters. We love Greek and have to spell it. The readings are not like that. However, if you are a student, you may not understand that these reasons are not real. They might seem we love Greek, so they might take that as a fact. That is why it's so important to be aware of reading comprehension skills, and you notice that there's a lot of opinions on this page. It's sort of like an attempt at humor. They have a little chart down here with some basic things showing where the American language came from Greek, Latin, and then American, and then they go off to computing, and the graph doesn't make sense. I click over here to geography, and they just have facts here that are strange. The suicide rate is here. It's just not fact-based. The map looks real. The main thing I would see with this page is that you really would need to be aware of reading comprehension skills to see that even though this looks like they're facts, that they're actually not facts that you would need to know. They just talk about things being, bicycles. They're very cheap ways of getting about, and they talk about Americans with their fancy cars. And it has pictures and it has graphics. Although if you notice, there are not a lot of links to anything else. There's no links to any other sites. I click on music here, and the songs are silly. They don't exist. They have pictures of church. They have sections here, but there's no other links to any content area. So the pictures look real. It would look like it would be something real, but when you read the text, it doesn't really match up to what they're saying. And I'm going on to the last section, the food and drink, and it just has silly little hints. And as an adult, I realize that this is a silly website, but my third graders might take this for for real. The one thing that I have noticed, I've noticed that there are no links to any other site. When I look at this web address up top, it doesn't go to anything real. It says web design, but I don't see an author. There's just not much to this site. I mean, it looks flashy. It looks like the pictures match, but the key thing is the text is just not accurate. And you would have to have some schema about certain things to realize that it doesn't work. And you'd have to really be aware of the opinions. This is just, there's just so many key flashing opinion words that you would have to realize that this is not very facts-based. And when I go onto the site, there's really nowhere else to go. It's sort of and this is, the flags are labeled. The one key here is the flags are labeled wrong, and that might be your one clue that things aren't correct. Other than that, you just would have to have reading comprehension skills to know this is an incorrect site. And my one concern is that with third graders, they may not know that. So this site, Britain for America, for Americans, is a site that is just not accurate. And you can tell because of the reasons I mentioned, the lack of links, the many key opinion words, and just incorrect information.